Hello, this video is going to be on the controversy lately about NPR, PBS, and the Trump administration. Here's kind of my summarized view of that, along with a list describing some things about the mainline media. So here is my summarization of this. There's been a lot of talk lately in regards to the Trump administration pulling the funding of NPR, PBS, and anything tied to that. Both of these entities need serious reform in order to present all sides of political debate, in my opinion. I do watch a few PBS shows, and I wanted to disclose that. They tend to be more personal opinion shows rather than their news. And it does have predominantly a liberal or a more left-leaning bias. It's been like that for a long time. NPR became so biased about 15 years ago, I stopped listening to them or watching them when I was still a Democrat. I'm now an independent. Let's face it, all mainline media, including them, has government bias. Lately, PBS and NPR, especially in the last, in my opinion, 10 to 15 years, have become a lot more pro-war, pro-free trade, and pro-globalization. Your media is not a real media. It's all run by money, including PBS. They are government funded, and they also take a lot of money, including NPR, from private endowments and private interests. This has been going on heavily since the early 1990s. It's basically, to a certain degree, always been like this. The only real media in America is independent media. Remember, the book Propaganda by Bernays was written over 100 years ago. That book essentially coined the term fake news and hoaxes, in my view. It was published over 100 years ago by a guy that was really part of the establishment. He was basically a globalist. So keep that in mind. Things haven't really changed that much, and propaganda has always been out there. So here we go. Here's 18 points on what your media, or your supposed media in America, will never tell you. Number one, 70% of American money is controlled by the upper 1%. Number two, the U.S. was never really a real democracy. We were an oligarchy run by special interests and rich people. Number three, voting is barely tolerated. The choices are largely selected for you indirectly or directly, usually by the money. Number four, the U.S. desperately needs public financing of political campaigns, an issue heavily pushed by Senator Bernie Sanders. Number five, wars are businesses to make the highest profit margin and to steal land and commodities from the lower middle class and the poor. If you look at history, one great example of that is oil. Number six, wars are also used heavily to depopulate the earth. Number seven, the U.S. is overpopulated now with few livable jobs, few reasonable jobs that people can actually live on, which is a big problem. Number eight, trade agreements get rid of the middle class. Number nine, the only reason most corporations lobby for immigration is so they don't have to pay reasonable wages. One example of that would be NAFTA. 10, climate change needs practical solutions. Number 11, EVs and ethanols, in my view, are complete scams. Number 12, their own stations are heavily influenced by the deep state. One example of that is consultants on TV. Number 13, real journalists are not rich people. They are usually middle class or poor. Rich news people are usually nothing more than actors. Number 14, drugs are heavily used by the government and by the rich to control and depopulate. Number 15, the CIA started the acid and LSD craze, in my opinion, in the 60s to control the boomer generation and to get them out of politics. Do your research. It's quite shocking when you look at the actual information and the evidence. Number 16, The CIA killed JFK, RFK, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and John Lennon. I believe they were heavily involved in the shooting of Governor Wallace in 1972. The far right within the CIA killed off the moderate left in the U.S. off and on from 1963 to 1981. They also killed leaders in other nations since 1953 that espoused nationalist economic ideas. Many of those leaders were not real socialists. They were nationalists. Look it up. Do your research. Number 17, we need more U.S. presidential debates on real issues. Number 18, the revolution will never be televised. No revolutions ever are. The Trump revolution was largely untelevised and has completely changed this nation, as one example. Thanks again for your time and your consideration. Next week I'm going to do a video on the misinterpretations of Generation X and another current issue. Thank you for your support and your time. It's free to subscribe.